This is Miles, the #1 ranked junior golfer in the entire world.
And this is Break 50, the series where I try to shoot an impossible 49 from the front tees in a two-man scramble. Season 2 has been an insane ride. We started the year with a bang, shattering records with the OGs Grant and Garrett.
Come on!
We survived absolute chaos with the Dude Perfect guys. We walked the fairways with a legend, Happy Gilmore himself, Adam Sandler. Then came Curry, hands down one of the best rounds of golf I have ever witnessed from an amateur.
Just making everything. Let's go.
And most recently, we took the show to the Bahamas for the first ever 2v2 battle. But it all leads to this. We saved a special one to cap it all off. We've played with legends, played with celebrities. Today, we play with the future.
Best junior golfer in the world right there. That's how you get it done.
Welcome back to Break 50, Season 2 Finale.
All right, 290, first hole. I'm gonna go.
I'm guessing idea is just to.
I think I'm just hitting 3-wood today.
You got 290 in you?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. A little early. All right.
I forgot he's lefty. That's right. I'm gonna struggle with that. I struggle with that with Phil all the time.
All right, we're like just left of it?
Yeah, I'd say just left of it. I mean, get it up there by the green, knock it on the hole. Who cares? It's 290.
All right.
Go.
Oh, it's not cutting.
Go.
Oh, go. I'm covered.
That's over though. You're fine. That's good. I mean, you have to literally be perfect in this challenge, so you just do it. You just go for it. Good morning. Be good? Question mark? Oh, it's too far. No way. How did I hit it that far? Man.
All right, this is a better question. Like, you're out traveling. How much will you lose? Do you lose any?
I actually gain speed during the season.
As you go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's impressive because usually it can kind of go the other way, right?
It can, but I'm such an aggressive player that the more I play, the more my body gets comfortable going faster and faster. Because every time I'm swinging pretty close to as hard as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about my game is I learned to be a very aggressive player. But I didn't learn that till I was on tour. Like I always was like, oh, I gotta be as precise and perfect as possible. And then I started realizing just let your natural athletic ability come out. Is that in the back bunker over there, Hogan?
Yeah, you're both bunkers long.
Let me see.
And this one.
I think this one's gonna be easy just to trickle it down to the hole. All right, I'll let you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right.
It should be just getting on and rolling down.
Let it go. All right.
I feel something good coming here. Spin. Spin. Be good. Going. Oh! That away.
Thank you.
Let's go.
I like that.
Thanks. That helps me out quite a bit.
Pretty straight. Like.
That's huge. There's a little diabolical shot here. All right. Oh, wow.
I really like it now.
Yeah, thanks. Good shot.
Thank you. I'm assuming you've started off with an eagle before, right?
We've started off with an eagle a few times, but it's Steph. We started off eagle, birdie, eagle. So it was a crazy start. But usually birdies we start off with all the time.
Okay.
We still have a chance. So again, there's plenty of short par fours out here that we'll be able to make eagle on.
You may go again, or
yeah. Good. Knock it in.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful. Good putt.
Thank you.
It's funny. I had in college. I had the, I don't know if you're concerned with saying the word, but I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I had the yips. Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm just making sure you're good with it because most people freaks people out, but I did have the yips in college. When I won NCAAs, I literally had the yips.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I just struggle with putting growing up my entire life. Like I never putted on. I putted on great greens, and then when I'd go to Poana, dude, I had no chance. I had no idea what to do. Okay.
Is this par 5? All right.
Par 5. Yep. 294 to there.
You want me to like just?
Get it down there. And I'm gonna try and pump it over the water.
Okay.
Up by the green, so we get an easy shot up there.
So like right.
Yeah.
Right there.
268, something like that.
All right.
Yep.
What do you got here, Miles?
I got 5 wood. Just try and get in play, I guess. Let him.
Yeah, he's gonna put it in play here. stripe it out there.
Oh no.
Get right. Get
Sit.
right.
I think it may be bad enough. If it's
Sit down.
short enough, that's not gonna be all right. Yeah.
It's okay.
That's terrible.
That's all right. All right, Miles, this is for you here. Oh my gosh. Sit down. Is that water too?
Is that water in front
Oh
of me?
no. That might not be good for us there.
Well.
Uh-oh. So 1, 2, 3. We got to get up and down
and down
here
for 4,
birdie.
right?
Yeah, at
Okay.
least we can make birdie. We'll be
Yeah.
fine.
That's okay. You think it'll spin a little bit?
It should. These greens are soft enough. It's a big mistake, Chase.
All right. 60?
Yeah, how far we got?
I think
60.
60. Sit. 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 Here's the backstop.
Down, spin back. Come on. Do your thing.
Oh man, just smoked it.
Okay. Shot.
Thanks.
Good
Thanks.
shot.
Spin. All right.
I was gonna spin back a little more. Still fine.
That's
Thanks,
a good
brother.
shot.
Thanks.
This is like, it's like that awkward one that looks short,
Yeah, and
but
it's
then
not.
but then it's like, but it could almost be a little longer because it's over water.
Well, that's
I
the
mean,
thing. Like, whenever I've played in tournaments, whether it's like a 180-yard shot, I've actually experienced like the water makes the ball go farther.
Well, it's
just
like a
like
little
5
adrenaline.
yards.
Yeah.
There's something weird with it. And-
Yeah. You what side of the tee you want me to go from? You want me to go
Oh,
from
you
this
can
side
do
or?
whatever you want. Yeah, it's what's within your.
Let's go this side. That way we're not putting over that old hole.
Okay, cool. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. Broke just a little more, huh?
Yeah. All right. Knock it in. Great putt.
Good birdie. After that driver in the water. What the heck? That's my bad, man.
No,
Gosh.
Is that a par 5?
It's a par 5. So we're 2 under through 2.
I mean, that's like hitting a really good wedge shot, and then you just missed the putt for 3.
Yeah.
But
We now have to
Yeah.
make 2, another eagle on a par
another
4.
go on par 4. We can do that.
Yeah.
This is par 3.
This is a par 3, so this is where the challenge gets brutal.
That's where I start getting nervous.
Is that pin?
I can't tell
we
if it's
got miles
over that
here.
little.
We got miles here. What are we talking about?
Is that over that little?
I don't know,
ridge, or
dude.
is it-
Do you know if it's over?
I think it's on top.
So you don't want to go long.
I think it's on top. Okay.
What do you think? Like a 98 shot with it being just like a little
I think so.
closer to that 100?
Yeah, I think so. It's gonna spin. It is gonna spin back if you hit it just past, but
Okay.
it's the tough part. If you get the down slope, it stops. So just pin high is good. That's nice.
Sit.
I don't have that, Chase.
Oh.
Oh, sit. Whoa. Late spinach there. This is the worst part of my game, so see if I can improve. Or have I improved? I was better in the Bahamas, Chase. Wow, that just had no spin.
Sit.
Sit.
All right.
That's what happens with my wedges, by the way. It's a little wet, boom.
Boom.
Like right in here, starting
yeah,
line?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
A little back uphill there.
it is, just a bit. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it didn't break that much. Wow.
Yeah, almost straightens out towards the end there.
We gotta make this. Absolutely have to make this.
Let's go.
All right, that's big. That's huge, partner.
Great putt.
That was a good putt there. But I get saved by my putting.
Oh,
That's
nice.
what happens. Let's go.
that's
That was
all
a
right.
huge birdie. Chase, we made a birdie on a par 3.
That was your own ball too.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
219?
Yeah, I got
219.
217, 218, yeah.
What, a smidge into the breeze? If there's
I
not
can't,
much,
I can see the water. See the water fountain? See how it's coming a little bit into
yeah,
us?
a little bit. All right.
The mist is coming in just a bit.
It's time to start heating up.
But it's
Gotta
7
get
iron
it
though.
going, huh? I mean, this is like just a good par 3.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the fun part about it.
I bet your par 3 game's really good after this.
The long irons,
Yeah.
yes. wedges get better. That's why I
Oh,
do
yeah.
a lot of this. Exactly.
Short game, I mean.
Yeah, but you can see it's not really improved that much. Beautiful, dude. Great shot. Be good. Be good. Oh, it's a great
Oh, it's
shot.
really good.
Dude, let's go.
I could
Great
contribute,
shot,
maybe.
let's go.
Maybe. One of the better swings of the day.
Chase, you've never hit anything like that before in your life. Hook just a little. Just a little. Just a little. Just a
A
little.
little bit.
Just a little right. I tried to draw it. Didn't draw it. It's okay. Miles is here to save the day. This break's pretty good.
Go from just left to the tee?
If you want right of the tee,
Right, tee. We're
8
just,
feet, it's gonna be right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like- I mean, go through your process. Do your process, man. Like,
Good.
you do what makes you best. Best junior golfer in the world, man. One more year and you can't say that. Oh my, what a putt.
Just
Started it just
a little
inside
too far.
that.
Yeah.
You started it just a little left there, I think. All right.
Knock it in. Let's go.
There we go. That's a good ham and egg there,
That
brother.
was well
Let's go,
done.
baby.
Well done.
Nice little eagle. Hey, we'll take that.
Your putting's good today. I'll give you that.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, I'll
Good putting.
appreciate that.
Driver's
Chase.
all right, I guess.
No,
yeah,
no,
if you could
driver's
just
not
hit
good.
wedges, it would be.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Actually, be able to win a few tournaments this year.
All right, we got another par 3, quick, hot and heavy here. This is not an easy one. This is 100 and
40 yards?
yeah, 140 yards. It's okay. We'll make birdie. We can make birdie. I got 146, 40, playing 47. Yep.
With a little bit of help.
Another
I think
par
we'll-
3.
I know they're quick. Just we get the par 3, the difficult part out early. I wish honestly it was like the first and second hole were par 3s, and then it's just free play. You know, after that, kind of riding on house money.
How it works.
I know. It's gonna play like 140 in my opinion.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So 40 shot, you think? I mean,
I
a
love
little
it.
more wind than last hole.
Yeah, it's just a little puff downwind, but I think
And
it's
right
gonna
at it.
It's gonna make it play a little shorter. Yeah, nice. Swing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can just going. Yeah, great shot. A little
Thanks.
short.
A little short.
I don't know.
What does that you normally go?
I mean, that was probably a 40 shot.
Huh.
So
Okay. 146 playing 143. Looks like it's flying far. Is that too far?
maybe just long.
Son of a gun.
Works though.
This wetness is really getting to me. So how often do you practice and play? Like what's your schedule like usually?
Really kind of whatever I want to do that day, I do. If it feels, if I want to chip for a while, or a lot of it depends on weather too. Like if it's cold and windy,
Yeah, it's tough.
I'll go and chip and putt. But
Do you play more than you practice or practice more than you play?
I'll probably play more than I practice.
Really?
And if I practice, I'll practice on the golf course too.
Do you play from the Reds ever?
Not really.
Really?
No, I've never. I mean, no. It's
What's the-
actually kind of funny. Like last week, I was playing with a buddy, and they're like, "Oh, let's play from the Reds for a couple holes. Like,
Yeah.
do this."
Yeah.
And we didn't do so well, but
It's okay.
it was fun. I mean, we did better.
You're the best junior golfer, obviously, in the world. But one thing that I say to juniors a lot is play from the Reds. Learn how to hit drivers into tight places. Learn how to get up and down from quirky, weird places. And that was the thing. I would get to like 300-400 when I was like 15, 14. And I just couldn't go to 600, 700, 800, you know,
Gotcha.
one of those
Yeah.
things. Yeah, and so my coach was like, just go play the Reds. You'll get to 800, 900 quickly. And so I'd do that, and then I learned to shoot in the 50s from that. And so playing from the Reds, my goal was to always shoot in the 50s. Like,
50s.
I'm going to play from the Reds till I shoot in the 50s. It took me 4 months.
Really?
But I shot 59, and I
Alright.
shot 58 one of the times.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
That's
ultimately,
impressive.
it helped
Right.
me. Then it made me comfortable when I was at that 12 under number.
700 through 12 or something, like one of those. You're
Exactly.
like, all right.
When I shot 58 at Greenbrier, I was super comfortable going in those last few holes. I had to birdie every one of them to shoot 58, I was trying to birdie 3 out of the last 4 to shoot 59. But I birdied all 4 of them coming in to shoot 58, and it was just that mentality of I remember being a kid again. Like I'm just gonna go for everything.
It's fun. Yeah. That's cool.
What's the biggest tournament you played in?
I've played in Detroit before.
Oh, you
rock
did?
it,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. How was that experience for you?
It was awesome.
First tee nerves. Come on, tell me. What were they like?
They were there. They were there. Kind of blacked out, so you don't like.
Yep.
You don't fully remember it. I remember I hit it, and I mean,
Yep.
it was my best drive of the week. Just
Really?
kinda low. I teed off 10, so it was just like a low bullet cut for
Yep.
me, and just striped it. And I think I was so excited, I proceeded to block my wedge into the bunker, but it was cool.
But you felt those nerves, like you got to a blackout state, whereas
Yeah,
like you don't
it's
remember,
I
you don't feel
really
it.
remember
Yeah.
it. I mean,
That's the exact same way I felt too. So it happens to you guys. Even to us good players, when you're out there and as an amateur, if you black out, it's okay. We do too.
it's honestly the best, because then you almost stop thinking. 'Cause
That's
it's
right.
Like
You just become an athlete.
just outside. Yeah.
It's 6.5 feet, 7 feet, 7 feet. Yeah, it's gonna be two, just a couple inches out, 2 to 3 inches out.
All right, what do you think of that line? That's pretty good.
Yeah, perfect. Good putt.
Thank you.
Huge. That's big.
Just need you to read all my putts.
All right. Well, 273.
This is a 3-wood play start next to the
Okay.
pin.
Chase your mouth.
273.
I'm gonna hit 3-wood. I'm gonna throw it up in the air. Try to hit a little softer.
This is a Matt Stafford 3-wood. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, this is just
It's gonna play like 285, in my opinion.
285. All right.
Be aggressive though, because
Be
it's gonna catch a bunker, right?
All right.
So if
Worst
you hit it
case,
on and
then.
it goes to the back edge, like it's fine.
I try to like high slice it. Or I think driver can get there. It's just gonna be
A little long maybe.
yeah.
Just fly it in.
All right, let's see.
Ah, get left.
Oh, you forgot
Left.
the cut.
Left. That's a bunker. It'll be fine. It's actually not bad.
That is just a sea of bunkers over there.
I know.
There is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, be aggressive, and if it goes in a bunker, it'll just catch a bunker. Worst case scenario. All right, Dingus, come on, Bryson. Big draw. Oh, too much draw. Get right. Sit down.
All right.
Ah, that's a big draw.
So what type of like your 5-wood or 3-wood on the range that you're hitting?
Yeah.
It sounds soft. Is there a reason it sounds soft?
It sounds soft.
Or
Well,
is it just
it's
like
a slower
the way the face is?
Yeah, it's a slower face. So, because I hit it so hard, I cave a lot of faces in.
So you need to
And so I
almost
need
have
like a
little-
thicker face that it just comes off a lot more dead. And
Gotcha.
like that shot, if I would have had a normal club, I'd have been 50 yards
50,
left.
really?
Because the curvature's built for my face.
Wow.
For my swing speed,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Well, that's cool.
But that's when I started playing good in 2023. Once I found equipment that worked for me, I was like, okay, I can play golf like a kid again. I don't think we want to play this one.
Yeah, we can see what the other one is.
Yeah. Let's see where yours is.
Would you prefer to be here or in the bunker?
Probably in the bunker, but I'm just gonna hit this for fun. Is that easier over there?
I mean, it's your bunker shot.
Oh, perfect. Then we'll use that. That's about as good as I'm gonna do there.
Why is a bunker so much easier from there?
You can get a lot more spin on a shot than out of the rough. Like that was would have been a great shot, but we can get way closer than that out of the bunker over there. Out of the rough, it can be very dicey. You can come out hot, it can come out soft. So there's a lot more room for error when you're hitting off or out of the rough compared to a bunker that you can have a good lie in.
You use 60 or sandwich on these?
I use 60. I'm a psycho.
Yeah, I think so, right?
US Open type stuff?
No, the US Open was 20 more yards, Chase, so, a little different. Yeah, beautiful.
Sit, sit. Oh no, sit, sit.
Oh, whoa. Dude, I thought that was good.
Just
Holy
almost
crap.
caught it too good.
You did. That's not good.
All right.
That's not good.
Gosh.
We got to hold this one. Shoot.
Well, there
Well,
you go.
normally bunkers are easier, but
Yeah, that whole conversation didn't age well.
Oh, I caught it good again.
all right.
It's almost like a
Clipped
little
it.
awkward.
Oh, get left. Dang it. That's disappointing. Well,
It's a really interesting par.
That was a weird par. But that's why there's 18 holes. That burns. Shoot.
So how long have you been doing YouTube for? Or
Man, I started in 2020. Started doing a couple little things in YouTube, and I didn't really know what it was going to be or what we were going to do or how I'm, like, my agent hated it. He was like, what are you doing? Go practice golf. And I'm like, well, I don't like playing. I normally don't play golf very much.
Okay.
I practice a lot. And so I was like, let me try YouTube, just show what a behind the scenes look is in my life. On tour, nobody really sees that. And I did that. Ultimately, it got to a place where I saw a lot of fan love from it. And I'm like, I want to keep doing this. I want to show people who I truly am. And 2023 is actually when it blew up. But I started pushing into it once I went to live because I had more time to do it.
Where are we at?
We were at 6 under through, what hole is this, 7?
probably 7?
So 6 under through 6.
All right, yeah, no, I mean, we're on pace.
We are.
We're feeling
We got to
pretty good.
move, though.
Just a little help off the right?
It is a little help off the right.
All right. It's got to be mashed. Man, this 5-wood today has
all
just
right.
not been good. That's fine.
I don't think I can get 5 iron there.
Usually
It's
my
260. Right in between. I'm going to play a soft 5-wood here. That's it.
so,
Oh my gosh. How'd that go so far? What? Dude, that 5-wood went forever.
Yeah, that was awful.
Awful. It was right at the,
just a little on and let it
yep, let it trickle down.
tumble a little bit.
Tumble. Go.
Oh,
Go, go, go.
go. That's just terrible.
It's okay.
Must have learned that from Bryson.
Ooh. Gosh. Just a fraction too hard, partner.
It's a good shot.
Son of a gun.
That's pretty good, though.
It's okay. I'm better than that, guys. I know I'm better than that, but it's December, so everybody chill. Got a little bit of time.
Yeah. You only start stressing after Christmas.
This is pretty darn straight.
Right in the middle?
Huh?
Right center? Right in the middle? Very straight, huh?
This is pretty straight, man. I mean, I see what you're saying. Yeah, beautiful. Good putt. Good
Thanks.
birdie. Head away.
we
Good
go.
stuff. Got to make eagle here, but
Nah.
that's all right.
We got 2
That's
more.
not bad.
Got
If
enough
we get an
holes.
eagle, we're in the driver's seat.
That's right. We're 7 under through 7. That's 11 under. Yeah. We got to get going. Isn't it crazy? We're 7 under and we're pissed. That's the cool part. Right in between. Oh no, it's 228. It's 228.
228.
Yeah.
Still right in between.
End of the wind's gonna play 240.
240? All right, we can.
Yep.
A little
240.
redemption with this 5-wood.
I'm gonna go 5 iron this time. 240. Trust myself. I gotta trust myself.
So ideally, just kind of right at it.
Right at it, man. Go for it.
All right.
Cut in there. Be good. Be good. That's a great
All
shot
right.
right next to the hole. That's awesome. Good shot,
Thanks.
dude.
Thank you.
Out of way. Nice. Okay, Chase. I'm gonna go after this one a bit. Be a little more aggressive. Oh, I slipped. Go, 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 go.
All right.
Good shot, though. Nice.
Thank you. Spine back.
I know you did. I'm chipping this in. This is going just a little left.
Just a little left.
Just a
right?
fraction.
This is going to be the one. I mean, it doesn't get more chip-inable than this, right?
It doesn't get more chip. Can I speak?
Do it.
No. No way. Dude, that was a great shot. Oh my gosh. Left. Chase. Oh, that's a little pull. It's another birdie. Gosh, I wanted that. It's such a good, I thought Miles had it too, by the way. I mean, that thing was right on line.
Gotta make like a 2 on a par 5 or something.
Right? That'd be
That'd
so
be
sick.
huge.
Never had that before on the
Hasn't
channel.
happened.
245, yeah, it's 248.
Golly.
No, 248, 245. Into the wind.
Into the wind.
I mean, I'm gonna go 5 iron. My 5 wood's too far.
It's front pen, it looks like.
I gotta go for it. I mean, we gotta make eagle, so I gotta go for it. Our Miles,
All right, let's
strike one. Cut.
Oh no.
All right.
just a little wind off the left, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
that was hit pretty good though.
I think there is wind off the left. Do something special here, Chase. Come on, wind, hit it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah, that's close to pin high there.
Nice.
I'll take it.
I mean,
Thanks.
260.
Just a soft little,
Just trying to.
smooth five wood. Nothing crazy. We gotta make eagle now. We got a good chance here. Nice little 20
All
footer.
right.
Let's knock this sucker in. Miles, what do you see? That's a,
I mean, it's
this
moving.
thing swings.
Yeah. A lot of it just depends on the speed.
Yep. That looks really good to me. That looks like it's gonna go in if it starts there.
Yeah? All right. It's gonna be a slow one, all right? Up the
Yeah, a
hill.
little slow. Oh my gosh, that thing snapped. Good try.
Thanks.
15 feet. All right, Miles, here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 feet. 3%er. It's 20 inches up and out. Well, if you hit it, I mean, that helps. 9 under. That means we got to go 13 under on the back 9. Dang it!
Get it
That's
going.
my fault. Just hit it. If I hit it, I had that. Right on line.
All right. Fresh ball. How often do you change golf balls?
Once a 9. Try to.
Once a 9.
Yeah.
That's really not
It's not a lot, yeah.
that much.
Once I get comfortable with the golf ball, I just keep going.
Okay.
I don't really change much. How far we got?
295. And in front.
295. I've been in between on every single shot, but it's 5 wood. Yeah, it's downwind. It's gonna play like 280.
Is there water short?
There is.
Oh boy.
How far is it to get over that water?
I would say it's
280 downwind, 270. Yeah, it's 5 wood. You gotta hit a good one here, Chase. I'm gonna knock this right next to the hole. Stay.
Oh no, I overdid it.
Nah.
All right. Darn it. That's on me. That's just gotta
all
get in
good.
play.
It's all good. I just couldn't miss it right. I'm sorry, I couldn't miss it right. My body wasn't gonna let me do that, Chase. That'd be fine right there next to the bunker. Just a bit short maybe, but it's an easy up and down right there. Whew!
This is a fun one.
This is a fun shot here.
You think it bounces? It bounces through, right? It should bounce through.
It should. It'll slow it down though.
Yeah.
So
it
you gotta
should-
be
it
aggressive
won't
up
bounce
to here.
out.
One bounce and it trickles
Yeah.
down.
So it was a great place to miss.
Yeah, I had to miss it over here. I mean, hitting it over here was a perfect play. Oh, that's nice, dude. What a shot.
Thank you. All right.
That was sick. Some hands there, partner.
Give it a run.
I told you. I fractionally thinned that. Nice.
All right.
Good shot.
Ah.
Good shot. Shoot. It's a birdie. Sorry, Chase. We are, I just that's right on your foot.
You just walked straight at me.
Yeah, I was trying to get as close to the camera as possible. Man, 10 under through 10. We gotta cook.
All right. Where are we going here?
We're going just to the left edge of the tree.
Okay.
Right center to the left edge of the tree. You can pretty much go to the base of the tree to the left edge of the tree.
Okay.
This
So
is
we're
the
Par
canopy.
5 for us, huh?
Par 5, we gotta make eagle here.
Yeah.
Number 2 hurt us quite a bit, so. Yeah, beautiful. That's
Thanks.
pumped. Isn't it funny we don't get to showcase driver very much?
I know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you really don't hit many.
Nope. That's fine there. Just keep slipping. Be all right.
All right.
Right center. Should be good.
It's 417. This is
Yeah.
my type of par 5.
Right?
I'm quite proud of this.
I know.
I know you. I know
That's
you're
great.
smiling a little
That's
bit.
okay.
but
No,
I
this
mean,
is good. Which one you want? I think we should go from here. Let's
a
take
little
yours.
better angle.
Yeah, it's a better angle. Let's take yours.
Oh, fairway.
Oh, that was a good shot. Nice. 105.
Little into it.
Yeah, a little in too. This is where working on my wedges is going to come in handy here. A little lower flighted half shot.
I mean, you think we can play it 107?
Yep.
2 yards hurt?
I think it's going to play 2-3 yards.
Okay. Just tugged it.
Yeah. It's all right. That's good.
It's a little stuck. Yeah, great shot. Do it. What a time.
Do it. That was key.
That's well
That
done.
was big. Huge. Finally, I can semi-wedge it. No, I still can't. Gosh, it's so nice when you have kick-ins,
Oh,
right?
man.
Walking up there the whole time, you're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's the best
Oh,
feeling
man.
in the world. Yeah, it's a kick-in.
You can
Sweet.
just kind of plot your round out a little
Yeah.
easier. Like, all right,
Put all the pressure on you.
no putter. This is
No putt. I'm letting him do this.
oh boy.
I'll just use yours. I'll use the backside of yours.
Backside,
That's the
there you
case. You got no club sponsors.
That was a good wedge shot.
Finally, Hogan, right? Only took 12 years. Well, nice. A little nerve-wracking there, isn't it?
I
No,
mean-
I'm kidding. Good putt. Nice
Thanks.
job.
All right, that's
Eagle.
one.
Easy. Keep it going. We're now 12 under through 11. 12 under through 11. We need three more eagles.
String together some eagles here. and
3
we'll
more
be
eagles.
Feeling
Let's go,
pretty
baby.
good.
Come on.
Who knew I'd be doing the driving, huh?
Yeah. He's the driver of the group.
I'll let you wedge it.
Yeah.
There we go.
We didn't expect that. Little
That was
role
not
reversal
on the
there.
bingo card. No.
Not on the bingo card. This is an well, semi-easy hole. It's straightforward, but pin is in the middle, 245, a little into the wind. Yeah, we can get this one close.
We can get it. I feel like it's just hard
Oh,
to get.
229?
229.
There's a little bit of wind. Let's see what you got. What are you hitting?
I got 4 iron.
4 iron.
It's got to be kind of
I like that.
ripped. But nope. I tried to hit it too hard.
Try to go after it too much?
Yeah, I just kind of got
All right.
stuck behind the face
You're right.
and just got to hit those smooth. That's the.
Time to stuff this one. Oh, not too far. Son of a gun. Shoot. That was so close to being good too. Good divot and everything. Just pulled it fractionally, Jace. Fractionally. What am I doing? I was about to fix that pitch mark.
This is like a green right here. Huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
If you're gonna land it right about here and let it roll out, it's,
Okay.
I mean, you can kind of see it, right?
Almost just left of the tip of the shadow.
Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh. That's a great shot.
Wow.
Jeez. Good shot, Miles.
Thank you.
Same thing.
Ugh.
Just you dummy. It's just right there. It's like we're hanging on the edge and we just can't dive into the pool. Or, I don't know. But that's the whole thing about the challenge is like you gotta be perfect in this.
Yeah.
You know, as a birdie, but it felt like a bogey almost in a sense, right?
It's not break 53.
No. I've shot 53 plenty of times.
Don't no need to do it again.
No. You know, it's funny. I actually had one of my worst break 50s with Phil. It was just brutal. We played Greenbrier, and it was in tournament conditions, and we didn't have our A game. And dude, oh my God, we couldn't make putts. It was hilarious.
What'd you guys shoot?
It was like 55, 56, something like that.
So this is your one hitting into the tower, huh?
Yeah, this is the one you're hitting into the tower, which is kind of cool. See the ball fly up into it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
87, like a 90 shot?
Yeah, I think it's about
more
90.
Than 90.
I'm going 1030 here for me, which is a 190 shot. 1038 iron.
Okay.
Come on in. That's such a cool look with the
That
golf
is
ball.
a weird look, yeah. I think it's short.
Oh, short.
Oh.
No way. Wow. You hit that good?
I mean, maybe a little toey.
Ah, a little toey. I feel that wind there. Play a little longer than that. What is going on? Get up. Why is it not drawn? All right, we gotta chip this one in.
All right. We've come close enough.
Yeah, we have come close enough.
Finally get a chip into land here. That would be nice.
It's gonna be the hardest chip that goes in too. Gotta make one of these.
Get in. Oh my gosh!
I thought that was the one.
It's gonna
This is a
happen at some
joke.
point. At some point, it's gotta go in.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Son of a gun.
Just grabbed.
Uh,
It's a good shot. Just
I know, but it's just not good enough. I suck. We gotta go 8 under to the last
I got
5
eagle in.
holes. 3 eagles, 2 birdies, and we can break.
It's still on the plate.
Oh yeah, it's on the dinner menu. We just gotta order expensive plate.
That made 0 sense.
He got it. 83. Wow, this just turned like almost into the wind now.
I don't know what just
the
happened.
heck. 83.
83.
Probably play. Are you gonna spin it back a little bit?
Yeah, probably land at 85.
Yeah, 85, 86.
It looks
Okay.
like it's in a little bit of a bowl, right?
Seems like it is. Dude, knocking this in.
That'd be huge.
It's possible. Come on in.
No.
Oh, bounce the other way. Wow.
Wow.
Hello. That did some weird stuff.
Gosh.
That was weird.
Right there.
Spin. Back.
Oh. All right.
How did that not spin back?
It's got to look.
And that's where you don't get the spin.
Yep. It's kind of what happens.
Which is a sick world we live in.
No, it's a dumb world. It's a dumb golf world we live in. That's why golf is a 4-letter word. It is the worst 4-letter word in the world. But you love it at the end of the day. And this is it right here. We have to make this. Yeah, I really like that.
You like that? That feels good.
All right,
So.
knock it in. Oh, hello. Sorry. Didn't break. That didn't break.
Wow.
Surprised.
It's like one of those that gets a little low though, and it's just gonna go.
Yeah, I can move.
Just kind of riding that little spine.
Yep. Okay, we got a hole out on a par 3. We can do it. We can do
Just
it.
make it that much more awesome.
That's right.
Yeah? All right.
That much cooler.
How much cooler would that be?
This
Just
hole is
par
pretty-
4?
It's a par 4. It's a double green with the par 5 that we played. We were
Okay,
close.
yep.
And it's that back left flag today, I think. It's a sick little shot.
A little blind, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of fun. There's some courses where it's all blind and you can't see it from the reds at all, and
Yeah.
we're like, this is crazy. 288. It's got to be 3-wood.
Right at the flag or just left of it?
Just go right at it, man. Pump it there.
All right.
That's nice. Be right. Be perfect, please.
Go. Probably just a little short.
That should be pretty good.
I was hoping Hogan was going to raise his hands and be like, it's in!
That
Makes a funny sound with the buildings.
288 can play like a 283 would. I'm going to throw this up in the air. Nope. How about thin it? Right at it. I tried to hit that thing soft, man. Considering what I did on 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I think we got to putt this, right?
Well, you guys haven't chipped in anything all day, so.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a great point. I can't believe I take advice from you, Chase.
I know.
Guys, everybody, can you believe I take advice from Chase? He doesn't even golf. I think overall it's going left.
I think so. I think it'll want to it'll just hold it, and then maybe the last few feet it starts to come back.
It goes to the right at the end for sure. To be
One more?
honest, man, I like it just inside the flag
Yeah.
shadow. Like right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
All right.
pretty neutral on speed, man. You don't have to hit it anything more than what it is. All right, knock it in. Go, go. Wow. Yeah, that did not do what I thought it was
It
going to
just
do.
kind of pushes it like,
Really hard at the top.
I mean, it goes a little left here, then like, I'd say like once it gets to here,
Did you hit that like pretty much full? Like,
I hit it pretty hard. It's slow up that
It's
hill.
slow, yeah. Go, go right, go right. All right,
Nice.
that's a good birdie. I want to jump in the lake. There's too many alligators in there though. It's quite nice how they pull these fly. It's crazy as I've gotten older too. I'm starting to get like into
appreciate it?
gardens and appreciate the flowers and stuff like that. It's really weird. Time just softens you, I guess. I don't know. Is what it is. Okay, this is a par 5. I'm gonna
right.
pump this driver here.
You make it 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go after this one.
All right, something special.
We need
All
an
right.
albatross.
Just have that bunker out there.
You can pass everything. It's a pretty much a free open hole.
Okay.
Nothing to really worry about. Nice. Got some speed there. Here you go, partner.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go after this one. And I thin heel it. Way to go, Bryson. Son of a gun. So, what's being the best junior golfer like? What's the coolest experience you've had so far?
Obviously, doing something like this is really cool. You
Really?
know? Yeah. I mean,
Thanks,
I'm
man.
getting to play with you. Like, that's awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Getting to play in front of crowds is always cool.
Yep.
You know, like Rocket was awesome.
Yep.
Like, never lose a golf ball for one, but
You do. I've lost golf balls before. Oh my goodness.
they played something like Junior Ryder Cup.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about that.
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I got to play it over in Rome 2 years ago, or yeah, 2 years
Oh,
ago.
how was that, by the way?
I mean, it was fantastic. We got to play the singles match at Marcus Simone
Uh huh.
the last day of their practice round.
That's sick.
So I mean, to kind of have the international crowd, like, it was kind of funny.
It was a weird one, right?
I mean, it's weird, right? Because
They're probably
not
super
really-
nice,
I mean, they're
right?
still nice. I mean, you're a kid, but I mean, if we were to play up in New York,
Yeah.
like, we were supposed to play on Bethpage, but rain and all that
Oh,
stuff
that
happened.
sucks.
But it's a different experience.
Yeah.
And just a little more pressure. Like, man, there's so many eyes, like people watching.
Yep. See what we got. How far?
91.
91.
All
Yep.
Love having 91 into a par 5.
I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm gonna hit a 55 degree. Hold this one. Come on. Sit down. Right there. Good shot. Solid strike,
All right.
partner. Good one.
Thank you.
Oh, just
Wow, juiced.
not my best. Thought that I'd have gotten there, but I gotta go work on my wedges now.
So do you do better with taking like sand wedge or something?
Yes.
Being able to flight it down a little bit?
I have to, man. I can't control this. I have too much spin. So like
it
either
either
gets
spins too much or it doesn't spin.
correct, and that's the
Gotcha.
big problem for me. Like that's, if I hit it 4 or 5 more yards, it's fine, right? But I can't be missing it like that on tour. That is unacceptable. That doesn't win the Masters. You know,
Yeah,
that doesn't win
that's-
majors.
I mean,
So it's got to be better than that. I was, and it's funny. I'm a big stats guy, but I don't look at many stats. I just know now if it's
No.
acceptable or not. Right?
Solo eagle.
Be a solo eagle here, partner. Dang.
we'll see.
Come on. This should go a little right, huh?
Yeah, not too much.
Not too much. The grain's actually coming into you, pretty straight into you. Solo eagle, baby. Let's go. That way.
Couple more.
Good stuff. Let's go. Let's finish it off. Hole out, hole out. And we
Alright.
break 50.
It's the way to do it. So I have a question. When you
Yeah.
when you do your putter like this, line it up. What you're using your left eye, right? Your left eye or right eye?
Let me see. No, it's right eye. Yeah.
Right eye. So what side of the putter shaft do you use?
Both. So
Use both.
the reason why I made this, so I made the shaft and I made it non-tapered. I'll just look at it from one side and, and see where it's at, and then go to the other side and make sure it's
It's in the
double
same
verified
spot.
in the same spot. Yeah.
So how would you do it with the, call it a normal shaft? That
A normal shaft?
Yeah.
Oh, if it's tapered,
Just a little
you can't.
tougher.
You can't, man. It's just always gonna look like it's left or right.
All right, hole in one.
It's just gotta get lucky. So 102, like a
This is it.
90,
95.
96.
96, 97. Yeah.
All right.
It's just over a little slope,
It is over
but
that slope.
but it is flat. Yeah, it's flatter up there.
Maybe just right of it. Looks like it slopes down.
Just
a little.
right of it. That's right. Get right.
Just
get
a little right.
That's it. Should be good. Should be good distance there, I think.
All right.
Yeah, good shot,
Man,
dude.
they've all just been a little left.
Yeah. Go on. Oh my gosh!
What a shot.
Son of a gun,
The
man!
one.
I wanted to make
That
that
would have
so
been
bad.
awesome.
Gosh. Oh well.
Yeah, you gotta have a hole on, right?
How many hole ones do you think I have? First, I'm gonna ask you, how many hole ones do you have?
I think 7.
7?
I think so. Maybe 8. I don't know.
What am I doing with my life? How many do you think I have?
Probably about 10. About
One.
the same. 1.
Yeah. Looks like it wants to go this way.
Yeah, like right center.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? You like that? I think that's right
That's
center.
pretty good. That's awesome. I love it. Knock it in. Just a little pull there.
Little pull.
Just a little pull.
Gosh, just kind of whacked
It's all
it.
good.
Too. All right, I'll let you make your own birdie.
Come on, Bryson.
Great putt.
I'll take that.
There we go.
It's a good roll. Birdie. Let's hole out in the last hole.
Sounds good.
Why not? Gosh! It's such a good chance to break 52.
Oh yeah. All right. No water or anything up there?
281.
Into it.
Yeah, I got 281.
Yeah, that's what I got from Adrian.
So it's no water. Nothing up there.
Sweet.
Bombs away.
Just see it's what I do.
Oh, be good. Just be right today.
It's gonna be over all the wind.
I mean, that should be right on it, dude. I don't know.
All right. I
It's
hit
a
it pretty
great
good.
shot. Awesome,
you.
bro. Best junior golfer in the world right there. That's how you get it done. Now, 3-wood for me, hitting it over these trees might be something here. Be good. Be so good. That's a little left, I think. That should be solid, though. Finally, swung one inside out like I normally do. God, it took 18 holes. Nice drive.
Thank you.
Let's go. Oh, those are great shots on there.
Oh, those two. Huh?
Nice.
Where are those all day?
I know.
That could have been.
Can we play again?
All right, just in time to make one last eagle.
Oh my gosh, finally Rocket Pop. I love Rocket Pop too. Let's go.
Which one do you like? This one kind of has a late break.
It
that
does.
one's kind of.
This looks a little easier.
Yeah.
I think we can roll this one in.
All right. Yeah.
Right edge of that cup.
I got it just a little more.
Just a little more than that.
Like I got it kind of rolling just right there. And at the end, it's just gonna.
I see a
Not
little
quite that
less
much,
than
a
that
little less?
partner. I think it's a little less.
Golly.
We gotta
It's
lower
just
that.
Bad putt.
All right.
Knock it in.
Yep. We just couldn't get the putts to drop today.
No, they
Just a few of them. Just a few little chip shots. Do it! Do it! Oh my gosh! A couple iron shots. What is going on? Oh man, we could have broke 50 so easily. Knock it in. Break 50 is so freaking difficult.